to another video of SandeshChat where we show you how to make the most of our platform. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of building a multi-level chatbot in SandeshChat. Now imagine you send a broadcast message to a client using a template with buttons. So when a client clicks on any button, the bot responds with a form or a question which the client will fill up. Now this conversation goes to and fro automatically. Now, these type of interactive journeys are handled by multi-level chatbots. For example, your bot can ask if a user is interested in an event and then provide the link or more details based on their answer. So, how to build chatbots like this? First, head over to the auto reply section in SandeshChat and click chatbot list. Here, click the plus icon in the top right corner and start setting up your session logic. Now, give your chatbot a clear name. Now, auto reply close when no response. Now, before building the flow, you must define this because the auto reply close duration determines when a session ends and a new fresh session starts. For now, let's keep it to 2 hours. I'll explain this later as this will become more clear when you have understood the entire flow of your chatbot. Now select the expiry message type. You can select between text reply, interactive reply, session last message, etc. Now here I am going to select the text reply and type in the reply. Then you can also set the priority, that is high, medium or low. Now if you have multiple bots, ensuring the right one responds to the user's intent, you need to set the priority right. Now here keep the status on always, otherwise the chatbot will not work. Then the rule expiry date is by default set to 30 days, but you can choose any date from here. Now next you need to choose the trigger type. Now text reply. Use this for free text triggers like hi or specific keywords like need details. You can even define these using if-else conditions here. For example, if I want my bot to get activated when the customer sends any kind of text, then I'm just going to select here message type equals message text. So here when the client sends any kind of text, hi, need details, no more, anything, my bot will get activated. Now similarly, template reply. Use this if you want the bot to start when a user interacts with a specific button on a template that you sent. Here, simply select the template and click on create. So this is where you build your multi-level chatbots. On the right hand side, you have cards which you can use to map out the journey by dragging and dropping them into the workspace. Now my template has 2 buttons, yes and no. I need to set specific responses for these 2 buttons. But before that, I'm going to explain you the difference between the send and the ask cards. So send, now this is used to give information like a message or a document, and typically this ends that specific step in the bot's journey. New path and saves the user responses like name or email as a variable to be used later. Now use the asked button to create choices for the user. For example, sales inquiry versus support ticket, etc. In short, send provides answers and ask collects information to keep the conversation going. So here, I'm going to set an automated response for the yes button. Now, to set the automated response for the no button, you can simply duplicate this if you want, drag it here and change the content from here. Now once you have placed your cards, connect the dots, that is buttons, to different paths. Now I used a simple send text. You can even set media set, contact, form, location, bulk media, etc. Similarly, you can even ask questions to them, ask any date, location, email, their address, phone number, URL file, etc. from here. Then to make your bot even smarter, you can use this advanced utility cards. Now here the API call. Now this is used to set the bot to create a lead or task in your CRM. Then delay. Now this is to add a natural pause between the messages, example 1 minute, to give users the time to read the resources before the bot asks if it was helpful. Then there is jump to. Now use this to navigate from one bot flow to another. For example, if a user has a sales inquiry, you can directly jump them to the sales bot. Now once your logic is mapped out, you can assign tags like interested or labels to connect within the flow so your team can identify the high priority leads in the CRM. Now once this is done, you can save this flow and test it to ensure that the journey is as intended. So you can hit publish button from here. Now this was level 1 chatbot. I'll show you a chatbot with more branching. Now this is another example of a chatbot with many branches and many levels. See, there are 15 cards in total which are used to make this chatbot. This is the entire chatbot. Okay. Now this can be built in similar way by dragging and dropping the cards which you need. Remember that you need to plan it out on paper first, then choose your trigger and then identify what needs to be placed in which place. Now here let's say a customer stops responding at level 2 of the flow. What happens when they message you again later? Does the flow continue where it left off or does it start fresh? The answer is under your control. Remember the auto reply close field? Let's get back to it. So let me explain you about the auto reply close. Now this acts as a session timer. So if a user drops mid conversation, the bot waits for their reply for that set of duration, for example 2 hours. Now if the user messages back after the closed time, then the bot will restart the flow from the very beginning. But if the user messaged before the timer hits, then they continue from where they left off. And that's it. I hope you have understood the concept of multi-level chatbots, single-level chatbots. If you still are not clear, you can watch the previous video. I've linked them in the description below. And that's it. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more tips on using SandeshChat.